Hey guys, this is kind of just a quick little mini rant, I guess, but at the same time not really, and more of an explanation on my part. So, I'm making this because I recently came across a video by Hunter Avalon called Sexist Buzzfeed Video Hates on Men. Now, me being a feminist or considering myself feminist and liberal, saw that and was like, okay, what is this mess? Because I understand that with society now, a lot of people don't really understand what a lot of this really is about. And as I'm sitting there watching it, basically his entire video is a rant on a BuzzFeed video that I don't actually know the title for right now, about manspreading. I think it was something along the lines of women try manspreading for a week. And in Hunter's video, he's ranting about that and saying it's sexist, this and that, whatever. And I'm not going to get into the whole, oh, this can't be sexist because yada this and that, because, yeah, it can be sexist, and the way that BuzzFeed presented it actually was. So, as a feminist who I wouldn't consider myself an extreme liberal to the point of annoying, I'm going to try and explain this whole situation from a actual logical point of view. And basically, what BuzzFeed dubbed as manspreading is when people of the male gender will sit in a more, spread out fashion, just in general in public. Now, me personally, I feel like calling this manspreading is just really stupid, and it is kind of sexist, in my opinion. From a psychological and sociological standpoint, there is typically a difference between how men and women sit in public. And my understanding of this is entirely coming from my women's studies course that I took earlier this semester, although the entire department is being changed to gender studies to be more all-inclusive, and yes, it is a liberal, course or class and department, but it presents it in a way that isn't extremely hateful. So, based off my understanding from this class, we actually did have a lesson on the differences in how men and women sit traditionally and sociologically. Basically, the difference with, men sitting more spread out and women sitting more, closed in is because traditionally and subconsciously, men are more dominant and women are more submissive. And because of this, you get the whole dynamic of this continuing into our society now, currently. Yes, you will still get women who sit more spread out to be more dominant, and you will get men who will sit more closed in. But typically and traditionally, they would sit in ways that reflected their dominance in our societal roles, which at this point in time are changing. And the thing is with that, how people sit can vary traditionally from culture to culture. I'm going to talk more about American culture itself because that's the culture I am personally familiar with. And in this culture, yes, men were more dominant, women were more submissive, example being the 50s, when women wouldn't leave the house without their husband being aware of it or being present with them when they left. They were stay-at-home housemakers. They would raise the children, men would go out, get money, be able to pay for the family. And the methods of sitting, spread out, or as BuzzFeed termed it, manspreading, which again is a very stupid term and very sexist, in my opinion, term. Because A, it expressed their dominance. B, with the clothing they wore, typically being pants, jeans. Yes, there is the whole biologically, they do have external genitalia, known as, a penis. Sorry, I'm going about this a really, school-oriented way. I kind of have finals next week, and was like, hey, I'm gonna do this. But, so they have external genitalia, And to be more comfortable, they will sit spread out so they're not, putting pressure on a sensitive part of their body. Whereas women have internal genitalia and don't have to worry about that. And they would also traditionally, I'm not saying that they do now, but many still do as a fashion choice, but traditionally women only wore skirts. And in the public eye, it is deemed inappropriate to reveal your underwear, so they would sit with their legs either closed or crossed to avoid that happening by accident. And basically, this is how it just set up and evolved and continued over time to where even now, when both genders will wear pants, both genders will wear skirts, the style of sitting reflects both a fashion choice and a personality of an individual. Yes, women who try to be more dominant will sit more, spread out, shoulders broad, knees apart, feet apart. And men who are more submissive will sit, legs together, or at least not very far spread apart. Arms on their knee, something of the sort, to shrink themselves down and blend in. Whereas those who are dominant will stand out. From my understanding in my course, this is what the difference between this is and why it would make logical sense. If you really want to see the video by Hunter Avallone or the video by Buzzfeed, I will find and link them both in the description of this video. Although, warning to anyone who also deems themselves a feminist, from what I can tell, even by Hunter's comment himself in his comment section, he is very against the feminist movement. And no, do not go over there to hate on him. Please. I am simply posting this video to share information that I know about this topic and explain a reason why it came up, and to hopefully bring some light onto a topic that a lot of people don't really get. So, that's that. See y'all later.